Welcome to the Filthy Badge series,
Police officers take an oath to protect and serve,
where we go precinct to precinct finding the dirtiest cops.
Deli joined the force in 2015, but tonight he's in jail charged with rape.
Some officers across the country are misusing that authority.
And now, the accused.
A Houston police officer once celebrated for his service, now facing 3 counts of child sex crimes. 59-year-old Darren Edwards arrested and charged with possession of child pornography, aggravated sexual assault, and sexual performance of a child.
Edwards has been released from his duties as a captain for HPD's Auto Theft Division. He's being held in the Galveston County Jail on charges of child pornography, aggravated sexual assault, and sexual performance of a child. Joins us with a look at his work history.
What's disturbing about this is we've learned Darren Edwards knows exactly how these investigations work. Records show he has 60 hours worth of training for child abuse prevention and investigation, and now he's in jail after someone walked in here to the League City Police Department to let officers know he's accused of sexually assaulting a child for years. Edwards' work history paints a different picture. The 32-year veteran, well known in HPD, who investigates, found he was demoted from assistant chief to commander in 2021 following the Astroworld tragedy. During that time, KPRC2 obtained his file showing he had outstanding reviews. This one says Captain Edwards is loyal to the department and continues to set examples for the people. In 2019, KPRC2 interviewed Edwards. He saved sportscaster Mark Langston during a medical emergency at an Astros game.
According to his doctors, he doesn't have any damage. There's no damage. It's truly a miracle.
With his head down, handcuffs wrapped around his wrist, Darren Edwards makes his way into the Galveston County Jail.
59-year-old Darren Edwards arrested and charged with possession of child pornography, aggravated sexual assault, and sexual performance of a child. Court documents detail very disturbing allegations of molestation. The victim told investigators it began when she was 12 years old and continued until last month. Documents also allege Edwards sent sexually explicit messages to the victim through Snapchat and Instagram. The victims told detectives Edward asked and sometimes bribed her with money to send nude pictures of herself, which she did to keep him from getting upset. Court docs also say the victim claims there were hidden cameras placed in the house by Edwards that recorded sexual encounters. Around 10 p.m. on Tuesday, the alleged victim filed a report against Edwards. The following day, League City Police executed a search warrant at his home in Victory Lakes. Charges for child pornography were filed the same day, and Edwards was arrested that evening. On Thursday, Edwards was transferred from the League City Police Department to the Galveston County Jail. League City investigators were seen entering and leaving Edwards' home. They told Fox 26 they were still conducting their investigation. Pictures posted on Edwards' Facebook page portray him as a well-rounded officer and dedicated public servant. The 32-year veteran of the Houston Police Department, who was sworn to protect and serve, now accused of being a child predator.
Houston Police Captain Darren Blake Edwards, seen here.
And arrested again just hours after he bonded out on child porn charges.
Yeah, this HPD captain being processed into the jail right now. Darren Edwards posted a $250,000 bond overnight and was released after being charged yesterday with possession of child pornography. Well, tonight he was arrested again. Bond this time has been denied. A 32-year veteran with the Houston Police Department with his head down. This happened just within the last hour. He is charged with 2 additional felonies, aggravated sexual assault and sexual performance of a child, all stemming from a disturbance call at his League City home yesterday. According to sources, League City police confirm that's where he was arrested the first time after child pornography was found on his phone. Sources tell me further investigation led to these new charges today, and League City police say the investigation remains ongoing. According to HPD, Edwards serves as the captain of the Auto Theft Division, so he's part of the command staff. He was also among the officers who were demoted after the Astroworld tragedy. And news of these charges has come as a shock to his HPD colleagues, who tell me he was well liked and respected. HPD has only said that he has been relieved of duty pending the outcome of an internal affairs investigation. Again, Darren Edwards is being held here at the Galveston County Jail with no bond tonight, and so far he does not have an attorney of record listed online.
And next up, a bunch of rogue officers in Hanceville.
This investigation started when Chris Willingham was found dead from an overdose while he was on the job at the 911 center in August. We now know that he died with a cocktail of drugs in his system, including fentanyl. As of today, we learned that some of those drugs came right from the Hanceville Police Evidence Room, which has now sparked a massive drug and corruption investigation.
There is a rampant culture of corruption in the Hanceville Police Department, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency.
The Hanceville police chief, 4 of his officers, and an officer's wife are all facing a variety of crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Eric Kelso is accused of giving Adderall, hydrocodone, and anabolic steroids to 2 fellow officers, Cody Kelso and Jason Wilbanks. Eric and his wife Donna are both charged with drug distribution and conspiracy. Police Chief Jason Marlin is accused of knowing about at least some of these issues and failing to report them.
These officers find themselves on the opposite end of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
In today's news conference, District Attorney Champ Crocker highlighted the lack of security in the evidence room, releasing photos of a massive hole carved out to the room where people had unauthorized access to evidence like drugs. A picture even shows a man using a broomstick to jimmy the door to get inside.
This evidence room was routinely accessed by individuals who were not authorized to do so, going in and out using this stick through the hole in the wall.
Evidence for several cases is now legally tainted and can't be used in trials. The Coleman County Grand Jury recommended the city shut down its police department entirely. If that happens, the Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry says his department is ready to step in to help.
We would take over all responsibilities from patrol in that area, investigation in that area, dispatch, and or the jail. Of course, you know, we have the jail here where we run over 400 inmates a day.
The grand jury sent down 9 findings and recommendations to the city of Hanceville, which include a rampant culture of corruption, abolishing the police department, and the death of a Hanceville dispatcher was the direct result of the Hanceville Police Department's negligence.
These officers find themselves on the opposite end of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
5 officers, including the Hanceville police chief, arrested following an extensive probe into the department. Dispatcher Chris Willingham was found dead in his office in August. His cause of death was the toxic effects of fentanyl and other drugs. Crocker says Willingham had access to the evidence room.
I would just say that nothing was secure about the evidence room, and when Mr. Willingham was discovered, there was evidence in his office.
Crocker went into detail on how people had access to evidence. It was through this hole in the wall. He says people would use the broomstick to jiggle the door open.
This individual who had the stick is actually sticking his head and upper body into the hole.
Crocker says evidence tampered with includes cases in Hanceville Municipal Court and in state court.
I am not optimistic about the ability to prosecute cases with tampered evidence.
The question remains how many that will be.
We're working on that. 1 is too many.
The grand jury found the Hanceville Police Department is acting more like a criminal enterprise than law enforcement and a threat to public safety.
The recommendations have been made to the public at large, and then whatever action is taken will be up to the mayor and the council.
We went to Hanceville City Hall to ask the mayor what's being done to correct the corruption. The city's lawyer handed us a statement and answered a few questions, including about the future of the police department.
That's something that will have to be addressed by the council and the mayor at a meeting.
Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry says if the police department is disbanded, the sheriff's office would take over. Preparations are underway right now, although no formal request has been made.
We will do what is necessary to protect our citizens in Hanceville, because they're not just citizens of Hanceville, they're citizens of Coleman County.
How is the people of Hanceville supposed to entrust their council and mayor to hire another police chief or more officers?
When something is done my office, state agencies, sheriff's office are going to be there to assist them. The mayor and the council have pledged their full cooperation with this process going forward, and I take them at their word.
In Hanceville,
the 6 who were charged are currently out on bond. Now, the district attorney said that he won't go into any specifics on what caused Willingham's death, but they do attribute much of it to the lack of security in that evidence room, which Willingham did have access to on the day that he died.
Well, this concludes this episode of the Filthy Bad series. Hope you've enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time.
Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell